What's going on, everybody? It's your host, the Crypto Wonder. Hope you are doing well. Let's talk about it. Let's get it. How y'all feeling today? It's what it is? Yeah. We're one day closer to a new all-time high for Hex. One day closer to the mainnet launch for Pulse Chain. And soon to be Pulse X. So Richard announced on Twitter that the testnet V3 is live, and he dropped a few links for people to utilize the, get on, play with the chain. I mean, for me personally, I just like the fact that there's some type of advancement taking place, some development, progress, if you will. But you know what I'm waiting for? The special green light for the mainnet to just go. And he even said in that same tweet, that mainnet could launch anytime, at any point after V3, yo. At any point. Look, I wanna send a shout out to the people who were unwavering in this community, whether you were new or old or new, whatever, right? You were unwavered. Your position hadn't changed, and you basically you stayed the course. I remember old legacy behemoth, Vanguard, legacy. This is legacy stuff, right? These old behemoth. I think Vanguard was known to have the oldest mutual fund ever in life, created, whatever. But their motto under their logo of a ship moving forward was "Stay the course." And that's what people have done in this community. You know what I'm saying? And it's not a shot to anyone who hasn't. It's just praising those who have. I'm not taking shots at those who did not stay the course. And even like for me, myself, there's certain things that I saw Richard do last year, with the whole outrage stuff that I didn't like. And I voiced my opinion several times about it. But it didn't take anything away from the way Hex works. It didn't take anything away from the fact that, sacrifices were made for freedom of speech, for freedom of movement, with no expectations of a layer 1 blockchain to be created and no expectations of a DEX, a decentralized exchange, to work in tandem with the blockchain to bolster, to propel, to send Hex beyond, to boost Hex to as far as it can go. And so everyone can enjoy the ride as well. Everyone who knows about it, at least, can enjoy the ride or make the most appropriate decisions that work for them. Even today, I saw a live stream where people were saying that Hex is pumping because they all know. This is what was said on a specific live stream. They said Hex is pumping, the price is pumping today because everyone knows that Richard is buying up the Hex, right? Now, let's say that was true. Shout out to Westcott Crypto, because you know what I'm going to say. Let's say Richard was very well buying the Hex, right? And, when people say these things, they just say it for whatever. It's their opinion, and they don't really prove what they're saying. They just talk. But let's say that's really what was taking place. You know what I'm going to say, Westcott, you already know, brother. And I see you doing great things in the community. Shout out to him by creating these music videos that he did, these short clips that have just caught fire in the internet and have helped even more, I guess, great marketing and exposure for Hex, and specifically Pulse Chain. You know, I Need a Pulse Chain Girl, and something else, another rendition of the Backstreet Boys, Pulse Chain. Go check out his channel. But to the people that continuously want to talk about how Richard is buying up the tokens to make the price pump and all this stuff that Richard is doing, and he owns this and he owns the OA, and you know that's why things are moving a certain way that they're moving, and all this stuff and all that and this. If you feel that way, then don't be excited that the even testnet was launched. You know, the testnet is working. Why are you excited? Like, they'll talk all this crap. Number one, nobody cares. Who cares? They'll talk all this crap about how this man is doing this and this man is doing that. No one's hearing them, yo. Like, nobody cares, man. Even if that was really happening, even if, let's say, he was buying up the price, who cares? How does that impact your life right now in this moment? How does that adversely impact you right now in this moment? You could have 1,000 opinions about why it's wrong for him to be buying up the tokens. Who? Again, nobody cares. Who cares? And then it's these same people, right, that criticize him are the same individuals that are going to scream, Pulse Chain is live, Pulse Chain V3 is live. It's live now. Like, people can't help themselves. Certain, you know, shout out to, you know, but this is why, and I know you know who I'm talking about. It's not about a specific person, but there are people who behave this way. You're going to see when Pulse Chain mainnet launches, you're going to see people coming out of the woodwork, lying to their audience, talking about they believed in Richard this whole entire time. They're going to be lying through their jibs. Lying through their jibs. Talking about they believed in Richard this whole entire time. Yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. Sure. Whatever. This is decentralized. Anybody, you know, nobody can, you can't stop people from interacting with these blockchains and tokens and et cetera, dexes, yada, yada, yada. But, you know, be prepared for the criticisms, because I'm going to launch a few. And it's not to disparage anything. It's just to call things out for what they are. You know? Instead of relishing in the doom and gloom, just extend some type of support, extend some type of positive energy, thinking, because it's been brutal. Like, the bear market, this whole 2022 has been brutal. I'm glad it passed. And here we are approaching the end of the first quarter of 2023. And we have news like this happening in the midst of all kinds of macro uncertainty and craziness with this banking fiasco and collapses, and the Federal Reserve don't know which way is up. They can't even, some of them can't even explain to you what inflation truly is, and giving you, you know, certain numbers of what it is. Meanwhile, if you look at shadow stats, the inflation rates are a lot higher than what they're trying to let the mainstream public know. And in the meanwhile, in the small sector of DeFi, you got real things going on. Like, a lot of people are just still kind of like, you know, like, listen, I know I'm one of them who's waiting for the mainnet launch, but for him to say any day now, any day, anytime, any day now, like, come on. Something to look forward to. All this time we've had no expectations, and some people just had absolute 100% expectations. They expected. because they sacrificed their buddy. They couldn't help themselves. You know, a lot of people, it goes back to you. It goes back to yourself. It's about how do you control your emotions? How do you control your feelings, or not let the feelings get the best of you? Not let the emotions dictate your decisions and jump out the window on some other type of stuff, type time, like the kids say. You know, I mean, like, for real, let's really think about this here. I'm not one to chase FOMO. I learned not to. I did it before, and it cost me a lot, and so I don't need to do it anymore. I don't chase FOMO. I don't chase the hype, and it feels great. Either way, I'm still as excited. It's just I'm not excited to chase FOMO, to chase things that I'm already in it. I'm in it to win it. I'm in it for my family, like, I'm not just doing this for me. I'm doing this for other people who I care about, who I love, and want to see them, be happy, be well, be healthy. The other day I made a video about passive income versus delayed gratification. Let me tell you, passive income is great. I'm all for it, 100%. 100%. But there's something that happens when you reach when you complete a goal, right? You reach a certain outcome, personal, for you. Think about how satisfying that is versus getting it every day. Even though every day is good. But think about how satisfying it is when you held yourself, you were determined, and you held yourself true to accomplishing a goal. And once you did it, how rewarding and satisfying that was. Sometimes words can't even, sometimes just with that, people get emotional in and of itself because they completed a task, they completed a goal. And this is part of it with these things that we're dealing with this layer 1 and this DEX in this volatile space. You can't forget, like, we're in a volatile market, like a very volatile market. Why? Because the risks to earn so much, high risk, high reward. The risks are there, but you can win big. And if you know what you're doing, you minimize the chances of losing. Right? We ought to keep our wits about ourselves. Even now, I know a lot of people are excited, and rightfully so. Why not, man? Went through a whole year of downturn, confusion, anger, all kinds of stuff. Look at all the people that were in the Hex community. All the people that ended up turning on the community, that ended up betraying the community, that ended up becoming two-faced, that you saw who they really were. Look at them. Look at them now. Even at testnet, like, folks are hyped for a testnet. They're hyped for a testnet. Version 3, because after this, he said a warning. Mainnet can launch anytime now. Anytime. Version 3 is the last. And look at all the people who talk all kinds of nonsense and crap and threw all kinds of insults at the community. There's a group of them that left that were quote unquote thought leaders in the Hex community that a lot of people, basically followed and they appreciated, and then they became turncoats. Now how do they feel? Now how do they look? All they can do is either accept that they were wrong, right? Or accept the reality of what's really taking place. And if they were real enough with themselves, they would do that and not let their ego or their egos continue to lead them astray. Yeah, so that they can, hey, be part of a situation where you can enjoy something for a change, instead of just like, trying to create smear campaigns and throwing mud at a community that in some cases, welcomed them. Like the Hex community welcomed some of these guys, and they became turncoats. Oh well. It's what it is, people. It's what it is. Like, you find the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything else in this, because you're dealing with human beings, you're dealing with money, you're dealing with technology, you're dealing with emotions, personality. Everyone's not going to get along. That's what's real too. And everyone, sad to say, is also everyone's not going to win. The case in point, look at the example I just said, I just showed you, I just shared with you. There are people who were in the Hex community who left the community because they were upset for whatever reason or whatever have you, and blamed the community for their decisions, whatever. So let's say something great happens or will happen, because we already, like, I'm a glass half full type person. I'm optimistic with it. I'm always going to think positive with the majority of what I get involved with. I say 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now, we here and we doing what we do, and they're not. Guess who's going to be regretting? Guess who's going to be on the disappointing side? Guess who's going to be on that side of the fence? It won't be us. Our reality, we done moved past, we elevated, we like a whole different type of situation, period. That's what's going on here. Once we made the decision to say, you know what, we're going to take a chance and do this, our lives already started to change. Our lives already started to change because we've been in it. Look, we were forced to delay our gratification. We were forced. With certain things that we were forced to delay our gratifications and have no expectations of profit from the work of others. So we were actually educated at the same time too, on multiple levels. Provided opportunity to learn against our basic choice. No, you're gonna sit down and understand why this is the way it is. Some people, they're gonna peruse through the blockchain, do some blockchain forensics with the sacrifice address to see what's going on, any movement going on in the GitLab, and what are people saying on these streams, and you want to do a deep dive and deep research. Let's go back into T-share rate and how it functions, and the OA, and what has the OA done in the past 3.5 years, or whatever, and they're forced to learn. Forced you to learn, forced you to understand what you own. Force you to understand what took place, force you to look at the data and understand the data. Understand the data, so then based on the information you gather that's present in there, you can make your own calculated decisions without listening to a soul talk to you. Once you understand it, that's it. Nobody could tell you otherwise. And that's what happened with me personally. That's why I speak, and I've been consistent with this for the past 2 years strong, period. Period. I don't care about folks thinking that Richard owns the OA and the decisions that he decides to do and make is what affects 10,000x gains. Ask me if I care. You know what I'm saying? Ask me if I care. Because if that were the case, who got hurt? Who got hurt in the process? No, seriously, I'll wait. No, I won't wait, because no one did. Because if anyone got scammed, you don't think that the media would know, that the cryptocurrency community would know? You don't think that, as bad as people can't stand him, you think that they wouldn't try to vilify him if they had concrete proof, real concrete proof that people were hurt behind his actions? You can't prove it. Like, really, and if you can, why don't you do it? It hasn't been done. Well, why don't you do it if you have the info? But people want to hold on to their feelings, and like it's said in the community, imaginary horribles, think about things that could and should and would happen, but never happens. and let time go by, which is a precious commodity that we can't afford to waste, that we cannot reclaim. And that here so far it's been designed, it's been developed, where you have this contract that allows you to have time work for you, that you're working with time, you're using time so that time can benefit you and pay you daily. You may not be able to take that money out every day, but it's saving. It's working for you on your behalf. It's a saving vehicle. It's supposed to be boring. It's not exciting. Some people in crypto can't help themselves. All they want is a shiny new object every single day, in addition to the instant gratification. Some people can't help themselves. That's who they are. They're going to talk bad about something that helped them become rich. Can you believe that? There's people that talk bad about Hex, and Hex made them rich. How? How do I know? It's because they've let the world know what Hex has done for them, right? And as soon as something doesn't go their way, as soon as something as petty and insignificant as Richard unfollowing them, they crumble, fall apart, go to Twitter, go to YouTube, go to social media and cry about how they were unfollowed. And now Hex all of a sudden is the worst thing since whatever. There's a lot of people that just are not mature. So this is why I also make content, because there's a lot of deserving people out here who are unaware. In my opinion, they're deserving and they are unaware of what's going on here. You have idiots, and I'm sorry to say that, but you do have people who are just not intelligent. Who squander and they defecate on something that gave them opportunities to change their lives. They don't know what they have until they lose it. They made it off. They made a calculated decision, not even a calculated. They took a chance and got lucky, because they can't really speak to you about Hex or the functioning mechanics of the smart contract. They can't even. They could barely explain to you what the inflation rate is and how it even works. They could barely explain to you how you mint your own inflation. They could barely explain to you what the effects the OA has had on the contract and its thousands of addresses, and how it's how it's worked as a benevolent entity to help the entire community of people who mine the coin. They can't explain certain things to you, but they could talk shit to you about Richard. They could downplay so much all of a sudden now because he said something about them that they didn't like, or he unfollowed them, like something foolish. That's why there are people that are out here just in my natural life, in my regular walk of life, that I already know deserve to have this opportunity. That's why I speak and I create my content, because you never know who it's going to reach. I don't do it for the people who don't know what they have. I don't do it for the people who in the beginning, you know, they become rich off the project, and then after a while they don't like what the founder does, and then they denigrate the project as if Hex did something to them. Right? How do you bite the hand that literally fed you? Folks have done that and continue to do that. It missed me with that. I don't understand that, and I never will understand that type of behavior. It's childish. It's infantile. These are people who are emotionally stunted, right? They allow their feelings and their egos to overwhelm them, right? So that they can just have these temper tantrums. Whether you're thumb thugging on Twitter, whether you're thumb thugging in some type of social media app, Telegram, Discord, whatever you use, or YouTube, okay? It's disgusting. It's childish. And that type of energy we don't need. I don't subscribe to. I don't. But those of us, you know, again, we're that much closer to where we want to be. Think about things that way. We're that much closer. We're closer to the next all-time high for Hex. We're closer to the mainnet launch for Pulse Chain. We're closer to Pulse X becoming a reality. We're closer to these things. We're closer to reaching our goals. Let's stop kicking and throwing rocks and actually hurting yourself, especially if you sacrifice. If you sacrifice and you talking crap about Hex and now you want to change your tune, if somebody who's of sound mind watches you, they're not going to believe a word you talk about because you flip-flop. You flip-flop like a pair of sandals. You're not congruent, not even in your thinking. You're not stable. 1 minute, you know, the current pushes you one way and then you go somewhere else. You go wherever the wind blows. People watch you for entertainment purposes. It's not just one person. There's many people who've done this. This is what I'm saying. There's people who've done this in the community who are among you. I've seen them. I identify them already. That's why I don't follow them. I don't do anything. But this is what happens. This is what happens, people. And then you're gonna have people who are gonna come because this is gonna catch fire, you know. And I think it was a bit of interesting that, you know, we always hear that Hex is pre-viral, pulse chain, all this pre-virality. It's genius in a way, because when you think about it, again, this community, although it's large, it's still quite small relative to everyone who inhabits this planet. You know what I'm saying? I mean, really. You know, I think they say there are 300 million people in the United States alone. I don't think there's 300 million people using crypto, much less DeFi, much less know about. Of course, they don't know about Hex because it would be reflected in the data. So you're going to have a bunch of all kinds of waves of changes and opportunities and evolution. And guess what? We're in front of all of them. We're in front of all of that. And guess what's going to happen? We're going to win. Because there's nowhere to go but up. We've been down. We've been at the bottom. You know? We've been at the bottom. And we understand how this works. What goes up has to come down and then go right back up again. And each time you solidify your position, right? Each time the bottom is not as low for you as it was in the beginning. Right? Because each time, the moment for you to really succeed came at the time when there was a bear market. That's the best time for anybody in this crypto space to succeed. It's during the bear market. That's when people take complete advantage of what's going on, of the opportunities that is facing them right there and there, right now. Not during the bull. It's during the bear. And here we are. Here we are. 1.7 cents, they said the recent low for Hex was. And the thing touched 11 cents today. Come on, folks. It touched that today. And this is within a little under 3 months. That's over 5x. Who couldn't use 5x right now in a bear market? People had, you know, suffered bank runs and uncertainty, like I was saying already previously in this episode already. Like, come on, 5x plus? Come on, man. I'll take that. What other crypto project right now can you talk about that's supposed to be legit, that's supposed to be sound, that's giving you 5x? That's giving you 5x a little under 3 months, less than 90 days. That's giving you 5x what? Anything y'all talking about, especially in DeFi. What y'all got? What y'all got? What, Bitcoin? Ethereum? No, you got this good little old token that has outperformed Ethereum. This good little old token that people defecated upon. This good little old token that people just purposefully kept it in the back, treated it bad like it was some type of stepchild. Maltreated, suffered maltreatment and abuse. They just said, nah, forget Hex. We're going to keep it at the third page of whatever foolish coin ranking site. All these, YouTubers, all these clowns with millions of subscribers, all these shenanigans, these fake people, garbage ass people. And I say that because I don't even care about, who they are. They could be good people. No, because what they've done was a disservice to their communities by downplaying everything in as far as not allowing Hex, give Hex is proper shine, proper recognition, proper media, proper news, proper relevance, proper exposure. What they did was the opposite. Try to blackball something. How you gonna blackball this piece of technology? You can't. That's why dude try to kick the door down by himself and create all kinds of weird outrage marketing things and tactics and ploys just so that he could garner the attention of people unsuspecting. Just to get the attention, because anything he was doing wasn't working well enough. I get that. But it's going to be those same type of YouTubers, like 1 million+ views. Even BitBoy, like I said already, he can't even give Hex 100% approval because he says he doesn't understand it. Why? Because he's not willing to understand it. Because he failed his own community miserably, yo. Had some type of itinerary of of how much he charges, thousands and thousands of dollars to charge, people who want to pay him to talk about their project, thousands and thousands of dollars to talk about garbage. And there's 1 million BitBoy cryptos in the crypto space too, not literally 1 million, but a whole slew of them. That could have helped their members, their audience, that could have helped their communities, give them a chance. But no, it's about filling their pockets. So that's all they cared about. The altcoin dailies, altcoin buzz, that George guy, like weirdos. All kinds. I mean, there's too many to even, I stopped watching all of them, y'all. I stopped watching all of them. It doesn't even matter. And shout out to Ivan on Tech. Shout out to him. I used to watch it. I don't watch him anymore, but I see what he's doing. He's talking that Hex talk, and it's great. It's great, but I'm good. I'm good on all that. Every information you receive is not always good information. I'm good on that. I learned. I've been in this thing 6 years, man. Ivan's not telling me anything I don't already know, especially if you're talking Hex. Come on, man. That's me, though. But that's why I speak the way I speak, because I have to respect my viewers. I have to respect my audience. And I have to speak with a certain level of accountability and be responsible and conscious of the message that I deliver. You're never going to find me, being, just moving in a certain way that's just wayward for no reason and no justification, and it's just crazy, and I'm just going to, defecate on something that once blessed me. How do you do that? How do you do that? Talk about flooding your bags. That's worse. I mean, like really? How do you do that? And it's crazy because everyone who has such harsh criticisms for Richard and the Hex and its operations, they can't do anything better. They can't show you by example what's better. Not at least they haven't done it yet. We're waiting. Because if you could come out with something better, guess what's going to happen? People are going to flock to it. The next thing that comes out that's even better, that just folks can do better and it operates better and it's just different. Different is a better product, is a better crypto, is a better this, a better that, better overall experience, making money, because that's what it's really all about. You're helping people make money. Guess what? People are going to flock to it. But you see when people, these founders, these jokers and founders have done Jackula and all them, you see what they're doing. And then people are like, oh, no, that, you got to think about how Hex was in the beginning, even though, things like, what Jackula did is everything seems dead. Everything seems dead right now, but you're not understanding. And who cares, man? Because a lot of people put so much energy into something that they have to continuously pay attention to. That's all. In order to really see success, you have to be and live You have to be about success. You have to become success. So I'm not going to be distracted and thinking about some 21st brick in a full roof building and what they talking to me about. I don't care about none of that. I don't care about none of that, because I did something right here that's supposed to work for me. And I'm talking about just having my hex locked and doing what it's done while I'm earning what I'm earning, and I'm living my life and I'm doing what I have to do. And every crypto that claims to pay you every day, it's just what it is. It's just paying you every day. Does it mean that it's great? Does it mean that it's not? If it works for you, hey, kudos. Kudos. But you're working with something here that is groundbreaking. Something here that is really groundbreaking, that you setting up something, you a part of history. You living through history. You're attaching yourself to something that's supposed to really effect real change. We're using this piece of technology to change our lives. And we're trying to be smart and pick the right ones. That's really what it is. If you found the right one that pay you every day, then you're good. No, I'm not talking to you. Now, I'm talking about the ones that got in Hex, made it well off, and then start talking crap about Hex because of the way Richard is moving? What? And then now you back on the bandwagon because the V3 testnet is live. You're not even talking about mainnet. This is how emotionally stunted and immature these people are, yo. That's the energy you don't want in your life, because that's going to lead you astray. Because a lot of times, I'm going to tell you like this. I'm going to tell you like this, and it's always it rings true. And this is what I learned in the whole space. Is a jewel that I'm going to give to y'all. These same content, these same influencers that you follow, that you like so much, right? Again, as harsh as that they could dish out the criticism, right? As much opinion, strong opinions they have, if they can do something better, why don't they do it? If they're telling you how well off they are and they showing you their dashboard money and they telling you what they're investing in, you should be able to do the same thing that they're doing and yield the similar results, if not exceed them or succeed them and yield better results. And if you can't, there's a fundamental problem. End of story. Nothing more to talk about. A lot of these guys move in cliques. You got to understand this, folks. When you're seeing these content creators, the influencers, they making videos and this and that, and they think they talking to you. No, it's a clique of them that they just, whatever, they conspire. They've moved around and they move like cells. Real life talking, giving you game. I'm telling you the truth. They operate independent of each other. Sometimes they operate among each other. And when they tell you what they're doing is not to benefit the whole, it's only to benefit the few. There's only a few make, I know from experience. That's why I don't mess with nobody. Very observant out here, even though I'm not in the mix, but I'm in the mix. Trust me when I'm telling you. Truth be told. Truth be told. And you don't want to get got. You don't want to be in a position when you get involved with something because you like somebody, you like their personality, and you know they're shilling something to you. It's not a good feeling when you don't receive what you put in. It's not a good feeling when you can't even break a return on investment. You can't even get an ROI, but you're buying into a dream. Meanwhile, you see something that's going on over here in a way that's so different and it's so obtuse, and it challenges your mind. It challenges how things work. You know, this whole thing with the OA, it's a challenge to people because they think, no, it's supposed to be decentralized. Who owns the OA? Everything about some OA. And guess what? While you going OA, T-share rate going up every day. While you crying about some OA. Weird. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it, man. That's it. That's all I got to say to y'all. You know, listen, man. This is what we're going to do. It's going to happen. It's not stopping. I'm here. I'm doing what I do. And that's what's going on, folks. Listen, subscribe to the channel. Like, share, do whatever it is that you do. I appreciate it. Leave a comment, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Take care.